They say the West was built on grit, gold, and gunpowder, but beneath the dust and bravado, it was also built on betrayal. Men betrayed their brothers, women betrayed their lovers, towns betrayed their heroes, and sometimes, even legends sold their souls for a few coins more. 1. Jesse James and the friend who shot him. Jesse James was the Robin Hood of Missouri. Outlaw, rebel, folk legend. But what killed him wasn't the law, it was trust. Robert Ford, his own gang member, was welcomed into Jesse's home. A friend, a follower, but with the reward on Jesse's head, Bob saw his chance at fame. One quiet morning, Jesse turned his back to fix a picture on the wall, and Bob shot him in the back. For that betrayal, Ford got a reward, and a lifetime of being called a coward. 2. The Dalton Gang's final ride. The Dalton boys were bold. They once tried to rob two banks at the same time in Coffeyville, Kansas. But someone tipped the town off. The people were waiting. Guns in windows, rifles behind barrels. Within minutes, 4 gang members were gunned down. Only one survived, and he blamed a traitor in town. To this day, no one knows who leaked the plan. But in the West, one whisper could mean a grave. 3. Wild Bill Hickok's last hand. Wild Bill Gambler, gunman, legend. He never sat with his back to the door, until one day, he did. In Deadwood, he was dealt 2 aces and 2 eights, now known as the dead man's hand. Jack McCall, a drunk with a grudge, walked in and shot him in the head. No duel, no warning. Some say McCall was paid. Others say he did it for pride. Either way, it was a betrayal of every Western code. 4. The hanging of Cherokee Bill. Cherokee Bill was ruthless, fast with a gun, cold with a stare. But when he was finally caught and jailed, his own cellmate tried to kill him for the bounty. That cellmate didn't live to collect, but Cherokee Bill's own gang refused to help him escape. They said he was too reckless, too dangerous even for them. Betrayed by his brothers, hung by the law. 5. Billy the Kid and the Broken Promise. Billy the Kid was promised a pardon by Governor Lew Wallace if he testified in court. Billy kept his word. The governor didn't. Left out to dry, Billy escaped jail, shot 2 guards, and vanished into the desert. A broken deal turned a restless boy into a legend with a bounty. 6. Pat Garrett, friend turned hunter. The man who finally caught Billy the Kid. Pat Garrett, a former friend. They drank together, rode together, but when Garrett was made sheriff, he saw an opportunity not just for justice, but for fame. He tracked Billy down and shot him in the dark. No warning, no duel, no chance. He wrote a book about it later, and sold his version of the truth. 7. The betrayal at Sand Creek. Not all betrayals were between outlaws. At Sand Creek, 1864, U.S. soldiers attacked a peaceful Cheyenne village, despite the fact that the tribe had raised white flags. Over 200 men, women, and children were killed. The betrayal wasn't personal, it was governmental, but it stained the West in blood. 8. The Doolin Gang and the Price of Loyalty. Bill Doolin ran one of the most feared gangs in Oklahoma Territory, but when he went into hiding, one of his oldest allies turned him in for a reward and a quick handshake from the marshals. Doolin was gunned down by lawmen who knew his name. He died with his boots on and a bullet from a town he used to protect. 9. The outlaw who turned Pinkerton. Some say the worst betrayal is when an outlaw becomes a lawman. Tom Horn once rode with rustlers. Then he worked for the Pinkerton Detective Agency, turning on his old crew and hunting them down one by one. The line between justice and betrayal blurred, and Tom Horn paid the price, later hanged for a murder he might not have even committed. 10. When the badge turned cold. In the end, betrayal in the West didn't always come with a gunshot. Sometimes it came with a deal, a signature, a promise made and broken. Towns betrayed their sheriffs. Fathers betrayed sons. Outlaws betrayed each other over gold, pride, or fear. The Wild West wasn't just wild because of danger. It was wild because no one ever really knew who to trust. Some legends wore badges. Some wore black hats. But the ones who truly changed the West often did it with a smile on their face and a knife behind their back.